on. We know who we trust in these situations. So it's big. It's see if Jalen Graham's healthy. Maybe he can step up. Chandler Lawson keeps doing his thing. Maybe Mitchell plays a couple more minutes. But we're going to have some big step up.
Well, see, you end up losing a lot. You lose a lot when you lose a Trevor in Brazil. I think you noticed that last year, too. 3-point shooting took a tick down. Interior defense as well. And rebounding. And that's the thing. He does a couple of things so well that OU also specializes in. They defend well, and they rebound incredibly well. You know, they had 30 defensive rebounds to Providence's 1 offensive rebound. I mean, they out rebounded Providence to the point where Friars basically were getting 1 shot, and that was it. That was totally it. So Lawson, Graham. Hopefully, Mark can get in there and grab some rebounds now that he's back, and hopefully 100%.
Bay Fall, it's a chance for him maybe to get 12 minutes, get 17 minutes. He's a freshman McDonald's All-American. So that's a guy that's coming along. You look and you don't get to see it as much with the transfer. There we go. We didn't.
You just did it.
We didn't make it a.
You didn't even know the. We didn't even let everybody know what we were trying to do.
We didn't make it the first segment, but me being said, with Bay Fall, you want to see him grow. You want to see him grow for 3 years and get better, but you don't know if he's even going to be here next year.
It was 11 minutes and 9. What, Chris, was it 11 minutes, 9 seconds in? We were trying to see how far we could go without the words transfer portal on the show. We actually made it more than 10 minutes. That feels like a surprise.
Bay Fall, I fell with Bay. Yep.
And you're the one who came up with the Mario World warp. I thought that's the direction you were going, man.
Yeah,
It's all right.
Don't give me no gun. You know what I'm going to do with it.
See if you can go another 10 minutes without it, all right? I mean, it's the truth. I would actually like to look. The portal is part of the news. You got to get into it at some point. But I'm not going to do the should Florida State be in and why is Alabama in and what does Georgia belong and all that for the rest of the show. I think we beat that to death for a couple of days. The portal, that's just going to be beaten to death until the end of college sports. But we did make it 11 minutes. It's actually well done. Halftime today, we have had to rejigger our guests with no show tomorrow. Nate Olsen from Scorebook Live for a preview of the final weekend of the high school football championships. We have Brett Dolan in hour number 2, and the one and only Bob Holt from the Democrat Gazette on halftime right after this.
Together we stand as tall as the Tower of Old Maid. Our memories are etched in stone like names on Senior Walk, and our blood flows Razorback red. For 100 years we've been hog wild, and today we continue the tradition. We are Arkansas Razorbacks.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith is your off-road headquarters. Kawasaki has you covered on 2 or 4 wheels with huge savings. Right now, save up to $2,500 on select Kawasaki KX dirt bike models, as well as $2,500 off select Kawasaki Teryx utility vehicles, like the 2023 Kawasaki Teryx SLE. Check out their loaded showroom at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith, or see it all online at WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports, family-owned and operated, and keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work, real work, working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Hi, this is Melissa, owner of True Grit Running Company. Now that the weather has cooled down, it is the perfect time to get a jump start on those New Year's resolutions. We'll help you start your running journey off right with shoes handpicked just for you based on how you run. Follow us on Facebook to learn more about our group runs for people of all paces, where we can give you advice and support on your running journey. Let us help you find your True Grit fit at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Hey, this is Justin with JD's River Valley Restoration. I want to thank all of our customers for voting us Best of the Best Auto Detail Shop for an 8th year in a row.
Justin, tell me a little bit about ceramic coating.
We're the only licensed certified ceramic pro installers in the River Valley. We offer a lifetime warranty and a 2 or 5 year warranty on our product. Come on by and see us at 5606 Towson in Fort Smith or give us a call at 629-7486.
JD's River Valley Restoration, where we're making new relationships one vehicle at a time.
Hardee's newest handcrafted recipe? Candied bacon, coated with caramelized brown sugar and a hint of pepper. Try it on a made-from-scratch breakfast biscuit with egg and cheese, or with charbroiled Angus beef on a signature Frisco burger, or as its own salty sweet snack pack. Any time of day, candied bacon brings savory sweetness to all your favorite things. At Hardee's, goodness in the making. For a limited time at participating restaurants. Exclusions may apply by time of day.
Do you like paying your rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Shamrock Roofing and Construction, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year up to $15,000. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 12th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, Shamrock Roofing and Construction, and ESPN Arkansas. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, when she was just 17, you know what I mean. And the way she looked, way beyond compare. Oh, yes. You know I never danced with a
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hey, remember, tomorrow is the last day that you can go to Vote Best NWA and put in your votes for the best burger, best French fries, and best cheap eats for CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. You already know that those three things are a fact. Well, make it known at votebestnwa.com. Voting live through tomorrow. So you just got 2 days left to do it. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Bob Holt is one of the best, a nominee for the NSMA Sports Writer of the Year in the state of Arkansas. He's won that award numerous times. And he joins us on halftime here on a Thursday morning. What's up, Bob?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Phil, is he the Tom Brady? Is he selfish? Bob, are you just winning the award every year? Let somebody else win.
I've won it a few times. We have lots of good. Tom Murphy's won it, and Scotty Bordeland's won it, and Andrew Hutchinson, and Wally Hall. Now, Wally won it like a million times, and then I think he probably just said, "You don't need to give it to me anymore." Overall, Henry won it a lot. Jim Bailey. So it's definitely nice to win it, but a lot of people have won it a lot more times than I have.
I enjoyed a little bit of your back and forth with Muss yesterday during the press conference. You asked a simple question about, any added significance for OU joining the SEC with this game on Saturday, and Muss had to basically get you to stop him from talking because he said, "I don't really care about that." I don't think it's a matter of I don't care that OU is joining the SEC. It's just it doesn't have any bearing on Saturday. It's just interesting when the coach says, you got to cut me off now.
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting from a historical standpoint because I'm not sure how many times Arkansas I know you've played. I should have looked it up. They probably played, 20-something times over the years, maybe more than that. And it's been a pretty good series, a good regional series. And this is going to be the last time they play as non-conference teams. It's kind of like the A&M Arkansas football series. That was a non-conference series. Of course, those were old Southwest Conference rivals. But it just seems like teams keep coming into the SEC, so Arkansas has to stop playing them in non-conference, whether it's OU in basketball or A&M in football. Of course, they're still playing them. They can't play them in non-conference games. So, but yeah, I think it's been a cool series. Eric pointed out that it was himself and Lon Kruger. He coached with Lon Kruger in the NBA in Atlanta as an assistant. And then they got the idea, I guess, to do this series. And then Lon Kruger retired, and Porter Mosier, the old UALR and Chicago Loyola coach, took over. But the series continued. But Eric said that was more about the administration. But I think it's a good neutral site game. I mean, it's in a perfect spot, right? Really, but I don't know if it's exact, but it's pretty close to the same distance from Norman and Fayetteville. And of course, Arkansas and OU both have a lot of fans in Tulsa. And so I think it's been a cool series, and they're going to continue to play, but it'll be home and home, and I don't know who's going to play who where next season. But, the first game, OU blew Arkansas out, and Eric people remember that. Eric was pretty hot and got 2 texts and got ejected late in the game. Then last year, Arkansas put it on OU pretty good, and so this will be the rubber match here.
Bob, yeah, if Brazil's a little banged up, I mean, a Brazil on one foot still is a lot better than a lot of players on with both feet. But if Brazil can't go, who are you looking to step up and kind of get those minutes?
Well, yeah, you hope he can play, but I think they're going to be smart with him, and it's a big game. It'd be a big game for Arkansas to win because OU's undefeated and they're ranked, and it's a neutral site, and it would really, if they beat OU, it's going to look pretty good in March, based on the way OU's playing. But if Trevin's not really ready, they don't want to risk him going out there and maybe make it worse. But, we saw Jalen Graham play some minutes the other night. He's had back issues and been in and out of the lineup, and he looked kind of winded the other night, which is, to me, I'm talking about Jalen Graham, which is totally understandable because he's missed a lot of practices and a lot of games. But if he's coming around, that would be a guy inside. He's obviously a different player than Trevin. Trevin's a guy that's, knocking down threes, and he's rebounding really well, especially on the offensive end. So that's tough to do if your ankle isn't feeling good. So, but Jalen Graham's a guy I can see if his back's okay, picking up some minutes, certainly helping him rebounding and on rim protection and scoring more inside, scoring maybe in different ways. He's a guy I could see. Maybe now that Tremont Mark's healthy and he got some good minutes, maybe you play, you go to smaller lineups more where you're, some games L. Ellis has played a lot. He didn't play a lot the other night. He very significant guy against Duke, but maybe you play your guards more, whether that means more minutes for Layden Blocker. Bay Fall's a young guy who's got, a huge ceiling at McDonald's All-American, but he's still pretty raw, especially on the offensive end. But he's another guy that's a good rim protector and a good rebounder, certainly with his size and length. So maybe a Jalen Graham and a Bay Fall are guys, and maybe they play some more 4-guard lineups with as deep as their backcourt is.
Well, I think maybe I've looked at this game a little bit too much on the challenge that Oklahoma presents to the Razorbacks. This is a really difficult team to defend. I'm talking Arkansas. I mean, they can score on you in a lot of ways. I mean, they've become a much better 3-point shooting team. They've gone 17 for 41 over the last couple of games. Shooting at 35% from long range, get to the foul line a lot. They can get to the rim. I wonder about the interior scoring at times, but Oklahoma's faced a couple of good teams, Southern California, Providence, Iowa, but this is as much of a challenge for OU to slow Arkansas down as it is for the Razorbacks to try to, find a way to, I think you might need something like 78 to win this game, and they haven't won a game when scoring, only one game when scoring under 80 so far.
Yeah, I do think it'll be pretty up and down. People got the first time I really got to see OU play was the other night against Providence. Was that Tuesday night? I think it was Tuesday night. Today's
Tuesday.
Thursday. I think it was. Yeah, and it was pretty much a back and forth game. And just selfishly, I wanted OU to win because I thought that would make this a bigger game Saturday and hype it up a little bit more. But they were kind of going back and forth with Providence till early in the second half, and then OU just put it on them. I don't know if anybody else got to watch that game, and sometimes it's hard to tell on TV, but they were playing. It was a home game for OU, playing at Lloyd Noble Center, and, man, the atmosphere just seemed pretty dead for playing, a Big East team like Providence. I think if Providence came in here, I don't know if it'd be like playing Duke. Well, it wouldn't be. And Providence has actually played in Fayetteville before, but I just thought the atmosphere was a little dead. But OU looked good. They seem like they have a real good mid-range game. They shoot threes pretty good. They've got some guys back, but they've also hit the portal pretty hard. And this is a big year for Porter Moser because OU. We think OU in football, but they've had very successful basketball teams with Billy Tubbs and Lon Kruger, and they've gone to Final Fours. Kelvin Sampson, before he ran into issues there, had a really good run. But the last 2 years, they have Porter Moser's first 2 seasons, they did not make the NCAA tournament. So I don't think OU hired him or anybody to not go to the NCAA tournament for 3 years. So this is a big year for OU, and they were picked low. And this is the coaches, not the media. So coaches can be just as dumb as the media sometimes when it comes to preseason polls. And they picked OU 12th, and I think BYU 13th, one of the newcomers. And, of course, those teams are both undefeated and ranked now, and we'll see what happens as they get into conference play and play tough games like Arkansas. But, OU's got a pretty nice team, and I'm sure they're really hungry and very motivated. And this is a huge game for them. But it's a good game for both teams on a neutral floor. But my thought is, being at the games the last 2 years, there's been OU fans there, but it's been an Arkansas crowd. I think Arkansas fans, I don't know if it feels like a home game, but it definitely feels like, an Arkansas crowd, a bit of a home court advantage for them.
Bob, I do want to ask you a football question. We had a change with the offensive line coach, new coach come in. I didn't know if you've had a chance to sit down and talk with them, but we all know that's something that we're going to try to make a strength this year that was kind of a weakness. What are your thoughts on the new offensive line hire?
Well, I haven't, or no one, Mike, you said just sit down with me. As media, we have not talked to Eric Mateos yet. He's, I think he's a good hire. I don't think Cody Kennedy was a horrible coach. Arkansas had some good offensive line play in previous years, but this year it just didn't happen. And so I think anytime a position struggles to that extent, it's probably good for everybody to make a change. But, I don't think Mississippi State would have hired Cody if they thought, he was a bad coach. Obviously they wouldn't have. And, of course, he'd worked with Kendall Briles at Arkansas, and Kendall Briles was Jeff Levy's brother-in-law, the new Mississippi State coach. So maybe it was just best for Cody to get a change of scenery, but maybe better for the players who are coming back. And Eric's the guy that, is close to Sam as well. He was a GA here under Sam, and when Sam took the Georgia job after the 2015 regular season, Brett Bielema promoted Eric to not to be the offensive line coach, but to serve in that role for the bowl game, and they had a good game against Kansas State. And then Eric went off and started his career. I think he went to LSU actually as a GA, and then but he's moved up. But he's been the O-line coach at BYU and Baylor, and I think he's had good offensive lines. He's recruited pretty well. He's a guy that I think understands Arkansas and kind of what you have to do at Arkansas and the SEC to be successful. He helped Baylor win a Big 12 championship. I know Baylor had a rough year this year, had a rough couple of years, but still, not easy to win a conference championship at Baylor, and they went to Sugar Bowl and beat Ole Miss pretty good. So I think he's a good hire, and, he fits in with some of the positive stuff happening here in the off season.
Bob, let's wrap up on a kind of a 30,000-foot view on college sports right now with Charlie Baker's proposal that came out 2 days ago. You've covered college sports a long time. How jarring was it for you to finally see the actual person that leads the NCAA to advocate for direct payment of players? And why is it 10 years late?
Well, yeah, it was surprising, I guess, but I'll give him credit. I mean, you can argue, you can debate the merits of it and how it's ruining amateur sports, but I think you talk about the view from 30,000 feet, or maybe the view if you got your head in the sand, right? If you got your head 30 feet below the ground, or whatever, 10 feet below the ground. But I think, it's a kind of a change of pace for the NCAA because instead of reacting to a lawsuit or threat of a lawsuit or threat of unionization or something, they're trying to be proactive and kind of get out ahead of this a little bit and just see the reality of what's going on in college sports, where it's probably never been, there's always been haves and have-nots, but the gap is growing, and I think you just have to accept that it's going to keep growing, and you need to, the big schools are getting more and more like pro athletics, and that's just kind of the way it's headed. And so, you feel bad for some of the mid-majors and the smaller schools because it's just going to increase the gap, but I also think if something's not done, you're going to have more lawsuits, you're going to have schools maybe, pulling out of the NCAA. And one thing the NCAA does really well, I think, is run events, whether it's the NCAA basketball tournament or the College World Series or these type of things. So I think there's still a place in modern college sports for the NCAA and colleges to coexist, but changes have to be made, and I think this is probably a step in that direction.
Appreciate your time, Bob. Thank you. We'll be reading you the Democrat Gazette.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay. Yeah, you guys take care.
Congrats on your nominee.
Bob Holt, Democrat Gazette, with us on Halftime every Thursday. Because, you got these divisions in athletics, and you would think, well, this just means that they're all like-minded athletics departments. But we know that that's not true. And I know that there's got to be disparities between some of those quote-unquote haves and have-nots, even at Division II and Division III. But who are we kidding here that everybody in Division I is like-minded at all? I mean, it's way overdue separating Division I into something different. And we'll open up our McClarty Daniel hotline for you right now. Calls and texts coming in at 877-377-6963. We're going to institute a portal tax today. Be right back.
Hello, this is Kevin Cowan at KC Insurance, and I just wanted to tell you all about plans that we have for Arkansans. It's through the Affordable Care Act, formerly known as Obamacare. Most Arkansans can qualify for a plan for $10 a month premium or below. We are located at 912 Highway 6265 North in Harrison, Arkansas, in the Ace Hardware Shopping Center. Give Ricky Cowan a call at 870-517-1207. Thank you.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Halftime.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
What's on your to-do list today? Does it include looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? If so, come by and see us at Sharp Equipment today and explore our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer. Whatever your day brings, whatever job it is you need to complete, Wacker Newson Equipment is up to the task, and Sharp Equipment is here to help. Stop in Central Hydraulics and see us at Sharp Equipment, located at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-242-1406.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive, or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leaf-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has been serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma since 1964. That's over 50 years of commercial and residential services from their 2 locations on Zero Street and Fort Smith. Arkansas Glass and Mirror offers custom-cut tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and plate glass. Whether commercial entry doors or home glass projects, remember Arkansas Glass and Mirror. Online at arkansasglassandmirror.com or give them a call, 646-4300.
Champion Cycling can help you find the joy in cycling that has been part of their family for years. Register today through December 17th at hitthatline.com for your chance to win a specialized road bike. Whether you're a child getting your first bike or an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years or looking to podium at the next race, Champion Cycling wants to help you find the right bike. Go to hitthatline.com today and register for your chance to win. Brought to you by Champion Cycling, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
All right, I'm going to institute a TP tax for the remainder of the show. Since we're not working tomorrow and we're just eating and drinking at All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater in Springdale with the rest of the ESPN Arkansas crew, they have to work. We do not. What do you say, $25 per TP? And TP does not mean toilet paper in this case. It means the other thing that everybody's sick of talking about in college sports, but it is sort of the thing that you can't help but you have to bring up.
Yeah, I mean, we can change it to the Warp Zone. We can totally just give it a totally different name. I dig it. Yeah.
You tried to give it a totally different name the other day, and then it just popped out, the regular terminology.
I wasn't.
It takes a while to reprogram your brain.
Yeah, I didn't have a plan. You know, if you don't have a plan to fail.
It took, I won't ever say the words foul pole during a baseball broadcast. I just won't, because it took me some time. I have successfully reprogrammed myself.
How come all the fair poles are yellow, but all the stripes are white? When on the field, why wouldn't they make those the same color?
You're asking.
You're the baseball guy.
Very important questions.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I'll give you an answer. I think an answer, because you see the yellow stripe on the top of the home run.
So
fence.
that's where it's going there too.
That's just to signify. It's just an extension of the home run stripe.
Makes sense. I'll go with that one.
It's a double extension. Every fair pole is a double extension of the fair line and the home run stripe.
And you got to have the hangover, whatever the look is, I don't know what it would be called.
Oh, you mean the
cheese grater almost.
The basket.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be there. On the
side
thing
of
that
catches
fair
the
pole.
home runs, like they have at Wrigley Field.
The basket as well.
That keeps the only reason that they have the home run basket at Wrigley is to keep fans from jumping onto the field. I think there was a story of a drunk
reasons.
that just fell over the fence onto the warning track. Well, it's not to catch the home runs; it's to catch the human beings.
I thought that's the only way Harry Carey called the game. Shirt off, beer in hand.
They would have let Harry do it.
He did what he ran that place.
Yeah, Dan says the baseball is white. Have to have some contrast. But Dan, the baseball is not really white. The baseball has mud rubbed all over it.
Kind of an earthy feel to it with the
got a little bit of that kind of skin color. A little bit of it. Too.
Is it taupe? Would that be the color? No,
a good one. I don't know. TAUPE.
There was the Spurs, Tottenham Spurs came out there with their earthy. It was that earthy just jersey they had, and it's their third or their alternate kit that they have. And Liverpool had this weird purple on yesterday, but yeah,
earthy is usually not a word thrown out as a compliment
for a color. Yeah.
Anytime you hear about an earthy flavor, you think you're eating dirt.
I don't know.
Earthy colors, though. I mean, I can deal with an earthy color.
You get some mushroom broth in there, something that's got a little earthy taste to it.
That's true. I had some mushrooms the other day. Cut them up, made a sauce out of them. Had to wash the dirt off first.
Dude, that you got that. I got this Amy's Organic, this tomato chunky bisque, and then I get that Gruyere cheese.
You're getting me talking on cheese.
You had me yesterday with the thing. Yeah,
I had the grilled cheese and tomato soup yesterday.
Yeah, I had to do it.
There was no way I wasn't going to do that. It had to happen. It had a heavenly flavor, the opposite of earthiness. Yeah,
it's almost like candy. It's sweet, man. It's I love it.
I love this stat. This was from the press conference with Muss yesterday, and credit to Scotty Bordelon for this one. Caleb Battle in the last 4 seasons has played 54 games. He has scored 20 points or more in 27 of them. That's half of the games he's played in these last 4 seasons. Now, he's been injured, so he hasn't played as often as you would expect. But that's to be going on a 50% rate of 20-point games, and he's doing it mostly off the bench, too.
Well, he's a bona fide scorer. That's just that's what it is. He's a very natural, explosive athlete. You almost got to rein him in a little bit. Like he can really go. He can get to the free throw line. Explosive. Knows how to get his shot off. And to be honest with you, Phil, I don't know that he takes a lot of bad shots. You know, like there might be a shot here and there you think about it, but 90% of his shots, you're like, yeah, that's a good shot.
But where he's a little different is he's upside down on the assist to turnover, and I think that's what you're getting at.
He's not a passer. He's a bona fide scorer in every way. He knows how to score the ball. He's a willing. He can pass, but no, he's But that's being said, that's what I mean. He doesn't take a lot of bad shots.
So I bet there's going to be a lot of pressure on the rest of the team now to figure out. And this is just.
And he hits his free throws.
Well, that's got to be important. That's the other aspect, too. I mean, you brought it up earlier, I think off the air, that you would question whether or not putting the ball in his hands
late in the game.
But the guy makes his free throws.
I don't want him the first pass in the corner. Yeah. You know, you want him the second pass, the outlet pass that when you can get it to him, then he gets fouled. But the very first pass out of the break,
he got trapped a few times the other night.
I wanted to go to Devo. I wanted to go to Blocker. You wanted to go to L. Ellis, really? L's our best ball handler, I think. So if it gets late in the game, him and Devo's a good decision maker. So you have that, but those would be the guys that you would want getting the ball first.
Well, Mark is still the team's leading scorer, but
him as well. He can knock free throws down too.
But where's their pressure added points wise if Trevin Brazile does not play? Like, you're not going to get another 19-point game from Chandler Lawson. I think that's probably the extent of his capabilities. And he's not the same sort of player as Brazile is anyway, but he's going to get plenty of minutes. And I think he should, especially against a team with such a good front court like Oklahoma.
I'm telling you, L's close. He's really close.
Still kind of waiting on him.
Going. Yeah, man, he's just kind of getting comfortable and getting situated, but he's close to having a 24-point game, to having an 18. He's getting to the rack. He's just not finishing. It's almost like he's just kind of starting to settle in because, man, his first step, he's the most explosive player out there, or the quickest. Maybe explosive is not the right word to put it because he doesn't play above the rim, but that he has the quickest first step out there. He's going to get it going on. I got faith. I got faith in L that he could be a guy to step up.
And I mean, there were 3 games he got shut out, and the last couple of the games gave you 9 against Duke, which was nice, 3 against Furman in only 12 minutes played. And look, I understand Louisville had a bad team last year. He was a consistent scorer for the most part. For the most part, you could count him getting into double digits, but he also was playing like 35, 36, 37 minutes a game. He's not getting that kind of run now because Layden Blocker has become somebody that I love Layden Blocker. I mean, we've kind of got into that on Monday. There's just something about the way the kid plays, and he's getting some of L's minutes.
He's getting better. He's getting better each time he gets out there, and so there's a growth there, and that's what you want to see. Yeah, he's still a baby getting better. But as far as what you've seen out of Landon Blocker, OMG, man, I like that dude as well.
We got a text in. Again, the McClarty Daniel text line is 877-377-6963. Jeremiah Davenport and Jalen Graham need to step up, according to Jeff from Fort Smith.
And Bay Fall as well. This could be a game where you can get 17 minutes, learn, and start getting some trust where then you can come in. And then Mekhi Mitchell, I think even Chuck brought this up. He played really well last, but he didn't play a lot of minutes, but he was very efficient out there. And so he can get some minutes as well.
Go to the McClarty Daniel hotline. Eduardo the Sherpa is here. Eduardo, I have to apologize to you because a couple of days ago we had somebody call in named Eddie, and I didn't see what CUNIT had written there. It said Eddie in Fort Smith, and I called him Eduardo, and you're really the only one. So my apologies. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. Tis the season, gentlemen. Very optimistic about this ball game coming up. You won't respect Coach Musselman, this basketball team, where you got to go earn it. And what an opportunity Saturday against a very good Oklahoma team. So, you got to come play. You got to outplay them. That's one thing I loved about Eddie Sutton and, Coach Richardson. It didn't matter where they played. They come to play. And so, you want to come a little later and get a little bit more natural respect, well, you got to go show it Saturday. We can't have players, go to the free throw line and miss them. We can't have players go there and not rebound. We got to have players go there and not shoot the ball well. That's a recipe of winning, and you got to be mentally tough. So that's my message today to this basketball team. And you just watch around the corner, Phil. I'm starting to get pumped. Year in and year out, we know our baseball Hall train takes our fan base for a ride. And so I have no doubt this year we're going for a ride. I don't know how far we're going to go, but I bet you this, we're going to be competing on a high level, and we're going to be, that whistle be blowing on that baseball Hall train. Let's get to the football Hall train quickly as I can. I'm very optimistic. As I said earlier in the year, I'm starting to feel it from my toes to the top of my head. Because what Bobby brings, I'll tell you what he brings. He brings knowledge. He brings offensive-minded play calling. And he's going to attack you on the perimeter. You can bet that. And so what you don't recruit, he's going to recruit speed. And so give him a year or two. Fan base, you ought to be, Christmas has come forward in our program. So I don't know how the Porter's going to go. It's just started. I heard maybe we're going to pick up a quarterback at Holly Cross here and there. Who knows how it's going to turn down. But you can bet one thing about the recipe. When Bobby Petrino's calling plays, woo! You can say that Ric Flair woo, because, in 2 years, I say this, we're going to be, in the landscape of college football, we're going to be back up there 9-11 wins a year. You can bet that. And so, that ought to be something to blow a whistle about. I want to leave a message to Brian. Brian, I've been listening to you this week. Well, you got to give credit. Now, I'll give you this. You did got maybe the most impressive win of the year in Tuscaloosa. But I'm going to tell you this. You're facing a different team now, buddy. And let me tell you this. What a story in college football. I was listening to them today. 4th and 31. And that made, rewrite history play script right there for Alabama. Everybody writing them off. And as I listened to Jalen Milroe, listen what the young man said. With everybody counting them out, Brian, somebody giving a chance when the tide's starting to roll, baby.
They are rolling. Eddie, you were rolling too. You wondered if you had enough time. The answer is no. Halftime wraps up the first hour next.
At A&P Auto Sales, we take pride in the way we do business. We focus 100% on our customers and believe car buying should be a fun, hassle-free experience. We will work with your budget and offer a dependable car at a price you can afford. Bank financing is available with approved credit, or cash is always accepted. Hop on over to 1202 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren and choose from a wide selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Contact us today at 353-1246 or check us out online at apautosales.net. Find your next car at A&P Auto Sales in Van Buren.
Catch your wife kissing Santa Claus, whose real name is Bobby from down the street? Want to know your rights in a divorce, custody, child support case? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Call me today to discuss your options. Start the new year off with a new lease on life for you, and let Santa have her. Mock Legal Solutions, 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Wow! Mommy's kissing Santa Claus!
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Asphalt Concrete Restoration and Supply has what you're looking for when it comes to innovative concrete solutions. They have the supplies and tools to do all the concrete designs you could possibly consider. Overlays, integral color and stains, and stamp rental. And if you need help, they can help you find the right person to get your job done. Asphalt Concrete Restoration and Supply. Let them help you create the look you want. Asphalt Concrete Restoration and Supply at 5805 Highway 271 South of Fort Smith or 479-788-8888.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and coming soon to Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come Get You Some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
The water was flowing all through the house. The drains were clogged and the toilet was down. The family was helpless. What do? They called West Ark Plumbing in for the rescue. West Ark Plumbing was there in the blink of an eye with quality service that can't be denied. They fixed the drain, they cleared the pipes. West Ark Plumbing made everything right. The family rejoiced. The holidays were saved. Thank you, West Ark Plumbing. Everybody proclaimed.
Call West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services. 646-5151. Available 24/7 through the holidays.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
I guess the Yankees had to have Juan Soto in their lives. You knew this was going to happen. 7-player deal. Yankees send 5 to the Padres, get Trent Grisham and Juan Soto back.
Juan Soto.
They have, apparently there's like 5 Yankees now that'll be making $23 million or more. And Soto at $23 million would be the fewest of these ones. Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole, Giancarlo Stanton, Carlos Rodon.
Giancarlo
$25 million.
Giancarlo Stanton, his agent, that should be studied in classes. Like however he got paid, however much money he's getting paid. Oh my goodness, because he did not. I don't know the right word to say it, but he did not produce. Man, he was hard to watch last year making that type of money.
He's hurt often.
Oh,
a lot of swings and misses.
Yeah, you got to unload that.
Soto's the real thing, though. This is about as consistent of a hitter as you can find. He's pretty much a outcome kind of a player, but tons of walks, tons of homers, and the guy's you can stick him into the 3-hole, the 4-hole, the 5-hole, whatever. He's going to hit. He's going to get on base. He's going to set guys up behind him, Washington won a World Series with him. San Diego thought they were. They did get a cornerstone, but they overspent. Yankees can't overspend in this case. And now we still await. This was like the crown on the top of the winter meetings that just ended yesterday. There really wasn't a lot that happened. Few free agent signings, a couple of other trades, but the Shohei Ohtani deal has not happened yet. And everybody's being really, really quiet about it. And so the winter meetings seeing less action than you'll probably see once Ohtani signs. And then everything else kind of falls into place.
Well, if he did go to Toronto, like you were saying, might be one of the spots that'd be in that AL East, that's like the SEC, right? Like that's where you want to go play baseball, man. Every one of those teams is loaded.
And they're all gunning for the Orioles now, of course. All right, we're into hour number 2 of halftime in just a moment. Our TP tax, what are we doing? 25 cents, 50 cents, a buck?
$1's fine with me.
We're at $8 for the show.
Uh-oh.
At this point, we might be able to buy a Big Mac Happy Meal at some point, huh? Anyone for lunch?
It is. 'Tis the season.
Stay with halftime or give us a call or a text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. We'll talk with Brett Dolan in about 20 minutes. We will be right back.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Supply issues are no issue at Shamrock Roofing and Construction. As one of America's largest roofing companies, we stocked up early and we stocked up big. We can do your job right now. And because we paid less for our material, we can share those savings with you. Call today or visit us at shamrockroofer.com. Attention homeowners, storms are firing up quickly and widespread damage means thousands are reaching out for the right roofing company. Don't wait. Get on the schedule with Shamrock Roofing and Construction now for quality and peace of mind. One call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Call 479-319-5100.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Metal Mart offers high-quality, prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be the company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials you need to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Mayflower, Jonesboro, and Little Rock, or catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we should see a bounty of sunshine. Temperatures this afternoon will be in the low to mid 60s. Tonight, we should see an increase in the clouds once again. Early morning lows expecting to drop down into the mid 40s. And then the clouds expected to stick around for Friday. High temperatures low to mid 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
I hate everything you just said. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is halftime. Coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3.
They're hilarious.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. I put my heart up. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
What's able one Razorback?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
We get into the second hour of halftime, which makes it the last serious hour of the week since we don't have a show tomorrow. We have to be serious. I don't even know if we were in the first hour, to be quite honest.
Hey, any show where we can play Beatles cover songs all show is kind of cool, you know?
It's a good theme today.
Fun show today.
You can't listen to the Beatles and be unhappy about about at least what you're listening to.
So I was reading yesterday is the number one Beatles covered song with over 1,600 different artists have covered that song. Yeah. Ridiculous, but you got to think.
Everybody say this is the one that's really going to get me known.
But it's like Tommy John surgery. It's a rite of passage. You know, you got to cover a Beatles song eventually.
Might as well do it before everybody knows who you are, right?
If you're really a band, you got a Beatles song in there.
Rite of passage for football players. What would be a rite of passage for football? Is there an injury?
Oh man,
specifically carrying equipment.
I don't know, turf toe,
ACL.
ACL used to be the thing, huh? Like that. If you're a running back, you're gonna have some types of problem like that. Yeah.
Basketball players, it's the ankle sprain, isn't it?
Well, the thing. Nice catch right there. I'm telling you, the difference. There's a difference in being able to put that wrap on the outside of the boot in football and that cutting, because it's not so far about going straight and back, you know, the straight movement. It's the cutting and the pressure, and so you got to be able to rein it in, and you can't go over the top of your basketball shoe because it can't stay on the floor, but you can your football cleat. So that's like an extra layer. That's why I just don't know if he's going to be. I mean, hey, young kids heal really fast, very true, but I just don't see him Brazil and playing this week.
I don't. If you're just getting onto a
what's today, Thursday,
a treadmill on Wednesday in a pool.
Wednesday, yeah.
Are you able to get to practice on a Thursday? And even if you can, I mean, what sort of percentage effort can you really give?
It's you don't want to injure it anymore is the thing. So if it's, hey man, if he's 80%, Brazil at 80% is a lot, is better than a lot of people's 100%. And so if the doctors say you can't injure it anymore, then he might play. But that's the main thing is the player's safety, because you need Brazil. You need Brazil in conference playing, and right now is a time where you can get a little rest and heal up. Because usually when you sprain an ankle, Phil, it's if you jam, like you were saying, rite of passage for a receiver, you're going to dislocate fingers. You're going to jam fingers. And the only way to really help it is rest. The only thing that you can do for a bad ankle sprain is rest.
I used to.
I mean,
just
you ice it,
walking.
you do other things, but I'm saying that's the main thing to get it to where you can go play is each time you go out there, it's you're putting a strain on it.
For some reason, the two things that always happen to me up until maybe about the age of 20, 21, nosebleeds and ankle sprains, just walking somewhere. I played, like basketball, not high school level basketball, but CYO level basketball, and I would sprain an ankle like once every 3 weeks.
Yeah, the first
nosebleeds, 4 or 5 of them a week back then.
Yeah, whenever you have an ankle sprain like that, the first 48 hours, it's just all ice. You're icing it and trying to get that swelling down. And then, like you said, now Thursday he's doing some, or was that yesterday? He's doing some underwater running.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
So hopefully today can do a little out of water running, a little bit.
Yeah, and just try to hop and skip and see what you can do. I just I wouldn't rush it back. I wouldn't push it. And then it's an opportunity. We've talked about that. We asked Bob that. It's an opportunity to maybe some guards to step up. It's an opportunity for some bigs to get some more playing time and to see who can step up, because it's very true. We don't have another player. There's not a lot of players like Trevion Brazil, but you can make up for it with your boy, Billy Bean. You can make up for it in the aggregate somehow.
Here's an interesting little note on the Mario Warp. Do I get taxed for that?
No, it's a warp zone. Yeah.
On the Mario Warp Zone, where college football players place themselves to go find another place to play, Trevor Etienne, the second leading rusher for Florida this year, has just gone into the Mario Warp. And it feels like there might be a former Arkansas running back that's looking to play for somebody in the Sunshine State, too.
You never know what level they're going to warp to, and see what division you can warp.
He ran well. I mean, he's got an average of almost 6 yards a carry for 2 years with Florida. This is someone that's going to transfer somewhere else, maybe in the SEC from Louisiana.
Man, if you're a Florida Gator running back, you're usually a stud, and so that's he'll find work somewhere if he's healthy.
877-377-6963. Calls and texts come in on the McClarty Daniel hotline, McClartyDaniel.com, to get a look at the entire inventory. We'll have Nate Olsen from Scorebook Live in about an hour and 10 minutes, Brett Dolan in 10 minutes, and Charlie is first up here during our 12 o'clock hour. Charlie, good afternoon. How you doing today?
Oh, there it goes. It just clicked over. Okay, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Good. It's a Friday-ish Thursday. Couldn't be any better.
Couldn't be any better, huh? Well, you guys are talking about, like, fingers, ankles, and all of that. Matt, I'm sure you were a competitor, too, but, like, when I was 12, and, I was the leader on the team.
Charlie's got some cell phone reception problems somewhere outside in Camden. For as many phone calls as Charlie makes, that's something else to actually hear that this is one of the first times he's had trouble. So we go to Brian in Ozark, who's with us instead. Brian, what's up? Now I can't hear Brian either. Brian, you there? A lot of people that don't like hearing Brian when he's on the show. So I don't know. Some cell phone reception issues out there somewhere. Landon Jackson returning to Arkansas. Matt,
there we go.
Made the announcement
Captain
yesterday.
Came over. Heck of a player. I like it. He's a leader. Somebody that whenever you have the warp zone, whenever the other guys come in, that's a guy you're going to look at and follow and lean on and see how he goes about it and see how he goes about it. See how he goes. And but he will be a leader and somebody who you look up to and you want to kind of pat in your game after him. And what
I know.
he does.
I know Jeff Coates out of eligibility. I think John Morgan is too. So Zach Williams out of eligibility. Jashad Stewart still could come back and play. You might be getting a little bit thin at end, but at least you got your best defensive end in Landon Jackson. You could see the improvement at the end of last year when that knee was healthy. And keep in mind, didn't he have, 3.5 sacks in the Alabama game?
Yeah, he kind of stole the show that game. That was one of his better outings. But he looked like he was doing it the right way. I like Landon Jackson. I'm a fan of his.
All right, let's try Brian one more time here. Brian, we actually had somebody defend you on the McClarty Daniel text line about 10 minutes ago. He's the only person.
Yeah? Now what?
Only person that's done that. That's all. Everybody, we get texts in that say, cut that guy off now. And, every once in a while I might. But we'll see.
you know, when you walk in someone's backyard and you're in kind of like no man's land, you expect that, but that's all right. Kind of circle the wagons and I'm good.
But this is your own backyard. I mean, you're from here.
Yeah, but you know, that doesn't mean much. There's a whole lot of people in Arkansas that don't even watch Arkansas. I talk to them all the time that are convinced that, you know what, they would never bet on Arkansas because it's more of a chance to lose money than win money. But anyways, that's not what I called about. You know, I kind of laughed when I heard Eduardo's comments about Alabama. And, you know, the thing about it is, all they have to do is shut Jalen Milroe down from passing, or running, I'm sorry. He's more of a runner than he is a passer. Yeah, he can pass. But he's not going to run on Texas' defense. Nobody has. I mean, look at Iowa State, look at Oklahoma State. Poor old Ollie, the number one running back in the country, couldn't do crap against that defense we have.
It's a little different
when you
have to admit, though, Brian, it's a little different when you got a quarterback with that kind of speed. If he's able to avoid your pass rush and get into open space, there's a difference between a running back and what a quarterback can do when he's flushed out. And Milroe is that kind of guy.
When you got two linebackers that are going to be staying on Milroe, he's not going to run for much. I guarantee you he don't get 50 yards in that game. But we'll see. I mean, the games haven't played. What is interesting, though, is I look at what CBS predicts, and, you know, of 12 CBS sports predictors that have all already picked Texas to win the national title. That's a pretty good statement right there. Will they do it? The games haven't been played. We don't know. But when you have 12 guys out of CBS that have all predicted Texas to win the national title, not just against Washington, the whole thing, that's pretty good.
I think they'll have to get past. I think this is going to have to get past Washington first. That's a tough team. I mean, and one of the things they're really good at, Brian, and we got to run. I appreciate the call. Is Washington is a really good. I mean, Penix is great. They got receivers that can get behind the defense.
Those two receivers, number 1 and number 2. But number 7, their running back, reminds me a lot of a guy from Missouri that just won the Bullsword Award. He's a downhill runner, real tough, real physical. Washington is more physical than you think.
I don't think you beat Oregon 2 times without being a physical kind of team.
Well, I like Washington's defense. I mean, they're all right. But Michael Penix was a lot more accurate than I thought too, man. He got the ball out quick, and then they got 2 receivers that can really go.
Looking for anything to get for your favorite Razorback fan, make sure you go to Alumni Hall in Fayetteville or alumnihall.com. They've got all you need for your favorite Razorback fan. Nike Golf Champion, Columbia, gifts, accessories, and all your tailgating needs. Arkansas students, faculty, and members of our military get 10% off in-store. That's Alumni Hall, North College Avenue in Fayetteville, and alumnihall.com. Brett Dolan stops by halftime next.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
We fought back. We took a punch, and we answered back.
He's going to go! Johnson's at midfield, and there he goes! 98 yards. Keith, wow. I saw it, but I'm not sure I believe it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Don't let Santa pass your truck by this Christmas season. River Valley Truck Outfitters has everything you need and ready for Santa's sleigh. They have great slashes and pricing on some of the largest truck accessories in the area. Anything from bed covers, step bars, window tint, and a full line of WeatherTech products. Just ask River Valley Truck Outfitters on Highway 71 South on top of Rye Hill or call them today at 648-8855. Santa's one-stop truck accessory store, River Valley Truck Outfitters.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured, with locations in Rogers and Fort Smith, serving all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-STORE or online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Back-to-back winners of the Best of Award, Gold Best Garage Company in Northwest Arkansas, and also winners of the River Valley Precision Overhead Door.
Attention homeowners, storms are firing up quickly and widespread damage means thousands are reaching out for the right roofing company. Don't wait. Get on the schedule with Shamrock Roofing and Construction now for quality and peace of mind. One call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, call 479-319-5100. Need new roof? Shamrock Roofing and Construction can have you covered right now for as low as $139.99 with approved credit. For quality and peace of mind, one call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, call 479-319-5100.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pecola.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is your #1 holiday gift card destination this season. Give your family and friends the gift they really want, a Papa's Pub gift card. Spend $25, get $5 free. Spend $50, get $10 free. Spend $75, get $15 free. And spend $100 and get $20 free. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Are you looking for the perfect gift this holiday season? We've got it. Hi, Melissa with True Grit Running Company. You may have heard all about our incredibly detailed shoe shopping experience. Why not give that experience to your loved ones? We sell gift cards that can be used not just for a pair of shoes, but the entire process of finding the best options for their specific needs. So purchase a gift card from True Grit Running Company on our website at truegritrunningso.com or in person at 6808 Rogers Avenue behind Chick-fil-A.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Here come on flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeball, he won holy roller. He got hair down to his knee. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please. Shine, he got toe jam football, he got monkey finger, he shoot Coca-Cola, he say, I know you, you know me. One thing I can tell you is you got to be free. Come together.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Olsen, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Brett Dolan's with us on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Got basketball tonight at Bud Walton Arena. Arkansas versus Louisiana Tech, women's basketball tonight. Brett will be on the call on SEC Plus. I'll have it on the radio. Brett, good afternoon. How you doing?
Great, Phil. Yeah, looking forward to another game. They really never stop. They just change sports and change seasons, but we'll be there and be ready to go tonight.
Have you been doing volleyball too?
I did 3 volleyballs last weekend around 2 basketballs. So that was my first non-football weekend, and I had 5 games in 4 days. So I survived. It was fun. But ready for a little slower pace here during finals week, I think.
I think I've heard the terminology, I'll be mellow when I'm dead. That sounds like you these days. Tell today is actually an historic game at Bud Walton Arena. Michaela Daniels sets the record for games played at Arkansas. This will be the 132nd game that she plays as a Razorback. She started every one of them, and that makes her the all-time leader in games played. If Devo is Mr. Razorback, this is Miss Razorback.
I appreciate you doing some prep for us on the TV aspect. We can throw a couple graphics up on the screen and talk about that. And you're right, it's been a very similar, comparable career, not just playing 5 years or being here, but pretty much starting every single game for Devo and every single game for Michaela. And I can't imagine anybody's ever going to come after this and surpass it once we get through these COVID years. So it's been quite a run for both.
Brett, with the Final Four coming out for college football, and we got our matchups now. I got Washington and Alabama. I got Alabama beating Michigan and Washington beating Texas. Now we got a while to talk about it, but I just wanted to get your initial thoughts and who do you got playing for the national championship?
Yeah, right. I'm trying to digest that all myself. I think we have 4 good teams, and it feels like, Matt, in recent years, what we've had is maybe 2 good teams, a third possibility, and a 4th team that snuck in. That's not the case this year. I mean, I feel like even as Alabama is a number 4, they could win a national championship, but that's probably why they're in over Florida State. I don't think the thought was that the Seminoles could, but Michigan is kind of just gone about their business in an uninspiring way over the last month, but they keep winning. Alabama has forced their way in. Washington is better than I thought. I picked Oregon last week, and I really felt like the Ducks were going to get them. They did not. And it creates some fun. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. And Texas, too. I mean, I thought Texas was good, Matt, but I didn't think they were maybe as good as they played this past weekend. But they put the pedal down. They tried to get a few style points, too, and it clearly worked out for them. So I don't know. I'd be inclined to pick Michigan to take down Alabama, but I do think that's going to be a crazy good game.
But there's not a clear... I mean, is there really a clear-cut favorite in this? I don't know if there is.
I don't think so.
And every year there seems like there is a clear-cut favorite. I don't think there is one right now.
No, and obviously we talked about it last week, Phil, and I thought your question, I even thought about it after you asked me, what is the definition of the best team, and how do you break that down in your mind? And I think it has to be kind of a combination of resume and eye test. And what Georgia and Michigan had for a bulk of the year was there was no blemishes on their resume, and the eye test followed. Once you lose a game like Georgia, then you have a blemish, and then we can all kind of poke a hole in them. And when you get down to this Final Four teams, Michigan again and Washington, whether it's Texas or Alabama, I think you could make a pretty compelling case for all 4 of those teams. So maybe this is the perfect time to segue to a larger playoff. I'm going to miss this debate, though, Phil. I'm going to miss this conversation. If I was Florida State, I wouldn't miss it. But I think anybody else, I just enjoy how much these games mean throughout the course of the year, even September games we're talking about, and even these conference championship games, which I'm not a big fan of, obviously played a huge role in deciding these Final Four teams.
Yeah, I like Washington's running back, number 7. Phil and I were just talking about him. He runs downhill pretty nice. Washington has some nice pieces, and that being said, their quarterback's up for the Heisman with Bo Nix, Penix, and then you got Daniels and Harrison Jr. going up there. I don't know. Who do you think is going to be the better pro out of those 4 guys?
Well, I think Harrison Jr. will be the best pro. I think there's a lot of NFL teams that would have loved to have had him this year. I didn't know if he would get in that mix. I had Ohio State for the first game. We had them at Indiana in week 1. And I said at the time, and I kind of got scoffed at, but I felt like Harrison Jr. could be a Heisman candidate. And for a long portion of this year, he didn't have as good of a season as he did last year, and clearly not having C.J. Stroud was part of that. But he found his way back in. I think he's a big-time pro. I'm glad he's getting an opportunity to be at the Heisman. He won't win it, mind you, but I do think he might have the best NFL career of that quartet.
How many of them did you see in person? Like, you saw some of the best teams in college football this year. You saw Michigan twice, right?
Yeah.
Saw Michigan twice, and I saw Daniels early, and I thought he was the most exciting player I saw, and one that you couldn't take your eyes off of. I saw McCarthy a couple of times, and there was a few weeks ago where he was kind of the odds-on favorite, and then Michigan just did not offensively tear it up in the last month, and they didn't have to with their defense. I didn't get to see Nix or Penix. I saw Caleb Williams. I've seen Penix in person a couple of times before. Nix was the one I would have loved to have had a chance to see. So it's unusual. Usually I get to this time of the year, I've seen 3 or 4, but I just saw 2 of these 4 Heisman guys this season, at least in person.
So you guys are doing the Gator Bowl, right? Touchdown Radio? Gator Bowl later this month?
Touchdown is. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to do it because a lot of my colleagues are there in Jacksonville. I'm going to do the Texas Bowl for sure with Texas A&M and Oklahoma State, and hopefully the Gator Bowl maybe too. So it'll be sort of a busy Christmas season, but I'd take more if someone else wants me to go call another bowl game someplace. I'd hop in because I'm one of the few that loves bowl games.
You see, Matt, he'll be mellow when he's dead.
That's right.
It's a pretty good gig if you can get it, man. You get to watch some great talent. You do a great job. I get to hear you and Manny a little bit watching the basketball games, and it's always a joy.
It's what Phil and I do. It's crazy. We just kind of bounce from one season to the next, and I guarantee you Phil's already looking ahead to Arkansas baseball, and I am too. He's starting to think about February, and that'll be here in the blink of an eye, and we'll kind of just segue from basketball into college baseball or softball, and away we go. These seasons continue to overlap, and then it makes for crazy times, doesn't it, Phil, in the Novembers of the years and in the Februarys and the Marches?
March is craziness. Utter craziness. Yeah, my dentist asked the other day, you want to schedule your 6-month cleaning? Like, or what month are we looking at? March. I'll just have dirty teeth.
No. That would be a no.
Brett, you said Daniels was the most exciting football player you saw this year. Does he have a little bit of that Johnny Manziel to him? Do you think his game translates to the next level?
It's a great question. I'd kind of be curious to sit down with some NFL guys and take a look at him. I think his speed is dynamic, and I was surprised how fast he was. Caleb Williams was a guy that I think is always faster than he looks because he looks a little squatty at times, and he always seems to run away from people. Daniels has a track gait to him, and it's incredible. There's the rushing yards he picked up, and you can't get 200 passing or 300 passing and 200 rushing in a game if you aren't able to put up big-time plays. You're going to get sacked once in a blue moon. You're going to need the 40 and 50-yard runs. He's very capable of doing that, and I like his arm too. Sometimes when you start breaking down quarterbacks, it's a little bit above my pay grade on what translates to the NFL, but his skill set seems to, again, have a little bit of Lamar Jackson to him too, and he's the guy that I can compare him to. When I saw Lamar one time with Louisville in person, it was dynamic, the combination of speed and arm strength and whatnot, and Daniel certainly has the speed, and he's put up just eye-popping numbers this year. So I hope the kid gets a chance to be a pro. I know he will. I don't know what he'll look like when he gets to the NFL or what situation he will be in with coaches and teams. But, it's kind of hard to win the Heisman if he does this week without being able to play the last Saturday when everybody's watching the conference championship games. But his numbers have stood up there while everybody else's have kind of taken a hit from one week or another. And he's the last guy standing, I think, and hopefully he gets a shot at the NFL, not just to play, he will do that, but to be a star.
Brett, where's Ohtani going to sign? I think it's the Dodgers because I think he fits.
I do too.
I think he fits as far as like the iconic international star. I mean, you can even it wasn't international, but Jackie Robinson was. I mean, that was one of the biggest things that has happened in American history. Truthfully, you look at Fernando. You look at Hideo Nomo. I think he's going to the Dodgers. I think that's not why. I think they got all the money in the world, and some of that money's coming off the books. I think he's going to the Dodgers.
I do too, and I think he's got a little bit of old grandma, old lady in him. I think he's very comfortable where he's at, and if the Angels were at least respectable, I think he would probably want to stay there from the comfort standpoint. He's used to that organization, but he can kind of stay in the same market and get a much bigger payday and have a chance to win or win championships. So I would probably vote with you. I'd take L.A., but anytime he wants to make his decision, he can. It seems like he might be really kind of struggling with certain aspects of this. The pay won't be one he'll struggle with. He knows he's going to get paid. It's just a question of where he's going to want that fit, and I'm sure the teams want to know if there's any possibility of him pitching the year after next or not, or whether he's strictly going to be a hitter, considering the $400, $500, $600 million they're talking about.
Brett, did you watch Kansas State at all this year or last year with A&M getting Colin Klein as their new OC? Just if you got to watch him play, because I remember Klein, wasn't he a quarterback at Kansas State so many years ago?
and a good one. And I guess I'm so old now, I remember calling some of his games when he played at Kansas State and then calling some of the games that he's coached in as well. Kansas State is one of those programs that I've enjoyed, and maybe it's because as an Iowa guy, I just appreciate the business-like consistency. They're not extremely flashy, but they always seem to have a great deal of success, maybe doing more with less when it comes from a talent standpoint. You shouldn't have to worry about having less talent at A&M, but I think it's kind of a fun hire. I think this kid has a chance to be pretty good. So I was intrigued by it, and good for him because he never did have the professional career that I'm sure he wanted, but he might have a chance to coach for a long time.
It does start to feel like Elko is a really good fit at A&M, doesn't it? Defensive oriented, and they haven't looked at a defensive head
Colin
coach
Klein
in a long
was
time.
He was a tough kid when he was a quarterback. Yeah,
there's something about, I don't know. Maybe this might be the guy to get A&M to the next level. Jimbo obviously wasn't. Sumlin wasn't. The list kind of goes on and on.
A little more substance, not enough. Maybe Sumlin had more flash. Is what you're getting out of Elko?
Yeah, I think that's probably. I think that's the case. I don't know if Elko is a flashy type of guy, but no one's going to care if he can win 10 games consistently and just improve upon 8 wins, which they seem to be stuck at for a number of years. So, I thought Jimbo was going to have a chance to succeed. It didn't work out. Now that you hear kind of the horror stories that are being leaked out after the fact, it doesn't sound like that was going to work, and that's why they ate $77 million. And Elko will come with a smaller price tag, but maybe he'll come with much more success.
I think he will. Brett, we'll leave it there. See you at Bud Walton Arena tonight. Thanks for your time.
See you tonight.
Thanks, Brett.
Brett Dolan, Touchdown Radio, Razorback Athletics, volleyball, gymnastics, basketball, baseball, whatever.
I got to hear him and Manny a little bit when you're watching the games and stuff. They do a great job together.
It's a real good job. Yeah. It's multifaceted.
He made
all those sports.
He made a Seinfeld joke. Of course, I think of it now, but I don't think Manny's a Seinfeld guy.
You realize Festivus is coming up?
Oh, absolutely. And I got problems with every one of you guys, and I'm going to start grieving it now.
There is no poll anywhere in this office.
Kruger, my son tells me.
Give us a call or a text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Our TP tax still remains at $8. It's been a while since somebody said the magic words. Halftime's right back.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch, big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Rockwell and Orwell are both known for their work from 1984.
It's no conspiracy that somebody's watching me, because the terms and agreements that no one reads is the reason there's no privacy. Big Tech is tracking every move you make and is starting to control society and how you participate. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Revelation 13 describes a mark for those who fall for this utopian dream. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yeah.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Olsen, the best in the business, on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jones Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jones Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
It's the warp, Shannon. We got to get these very important terms that we have to make sure we get 100% right. It also includes being right on making sure you give your sponsors the due that they are owed. McClarty Daniel Hotline. We got Charlie in Camden. What's up, Charlie? We missed you earlier. You had bad reception. What are you doing?
Well, Phil, the funny thing about that is I did not even realize I had lost you guys. I'm sitting there telling my so exciting, not exciting story, and I did not realize I had lost 2 guys until Matt said something about somebody being a leader. I think he was talking about Landon Jackson. So I thought he was talking about me. So that's just how my day's going. But he was not talking about me, and Landon Jackson is a great leader. By the way, Matt, you kind of got a list the other day. That was a good one. You come up with these on the fly. The Jordan travesty. That was good. That was a heck of a
I had to
find
step
right
away
there.
from the mic at that moment.
Everything I do is on the fly. You know, there's no.
So
that was you scrambling out of the pocket, wasn't it? That's exactly what that was.
Yeah, immaculate puns, analogies, metaphor. I think immaculate's the word. He just comes up with it. He's just got it. He's just got that it factor. And then Phil with the sarcasm throwing in there. Charlie's beautiful reception. He never has any problem.
And then Charlie's just driving down the road talking to himself for 10 minutes.
Didn't even realize it. But anyways, guys, by the way, Steve Unit, my boy on here, he came up with a good comparison on Facebook. He tagged me in it, talking about T-Mark being kind of like Kawhi Leonard. And I like that comparison. I want to see if Matt agreed with it. I actually think that is a good comparison.
Who?
Kawhi.
And also,
Brazil?
So we're calling
Mark.
What are we calling the transfer portal now? Phil,
That's another $1, Charlie. That one's on you. It's 9
That's
times.
fine. Anyway,
It's the Mario warp. It's the warp. It's the
the warp zone.
Yeah, the thing that kind of twirls around and around, and Mario jumps in it. And the next thing you know, he's transferred to.
On
he's
Mario
transferred to Florida.
1 level 2, you can get up on top of the screen. You go all the way across, and you can warp to those 3 warp zones. Yeah.
Well, Phil, I've talked to Matt about this. He is not going to let you enter that ever, so don't even think about it. Anyways, I just want to let y'all know. Hope y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. We had a question here on the text line from Joseph. Wants to know if you've heard anything about KJ transferring. Nope. That's what everybody's waiting on now.
I wonder what I want to see him stay a Razorback, and be up there. He's very accomplished. He's seen it. He's seen it all, and go out on a high note. Go out, winning 8-9 games, and he's definitely seen it. Got all the reps. You got another guy in Bobby Petrino that's a quarterback wizard. So what if your goal is to? You don't know what his goal is. But he'll be leading the line somewhere. I don't know if it'll be at the University of Arkansas, but KJ will be leading the line somewhere.
But that's got to be the next thing. We've been waiting on it since the portal even opened. The date. I did it. It's 10. Come on now. See, I didn't have enough time to train myself. We just came up with this idea in the first segment. $10 today. Gosh. Remember the first day that the warp zone opened?
I thought he would be. I thought it was first.
He's in. No, he's not. I haven't heard a thing since.
I thought, Petrino got here, and you got to think they've talked by now, right? Like, I wonder what that conversation's been like. What happened there? And they went down there. I think they're going to get the Courtney Crutchfield. You're going to get the number 1 kid in the state. So yeah, is there over 100 quarterbacks in the pool?
Oh. You cut yourself off before
in the warp zone.
Maybe that's like $2. No, maybe it's more like 20 cents. They're 102.
Maybe you don't want to get in the warp zone if you're KJ. Maybe you got a spot right there. If you still got a scholarship, you still got a deal going on.
130 FBS college football teams. There's 102 quarterbacks playing Mario right now.
And what if Petrino does a Lane Kiffin thing where he brings somebody else that's good in, and you bring a former starter in, and then it's like, hey, it's competition. You talked about this, Phil. It's like we got to have competition. And last year it felt like some of these guys were just kind of penciled in starters, and there was really no backup. There was no competition for him, no way to push him. It'd be interesting to see who in this warp zone who Petrino brings in, because you have to think they're going to bring in somebody.
Even if KJ stays.
If KJ so you bring somebody in. KJ has 3 more months. It'll be as far as when August gets here, you got about 3 months of KJ, and then he's going to be training for the combine.
And then we'll see what happens as far as spring ball and when the warp zone opens again.
But that's when the competition would be, because you're going to have to pick up Coach Petrino's offense. KJ's a natural leader, and so it just depends on who they bring in.
I saw on 247, it wasn't a crystal ball, but folks think Chris Paul's going to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Yeah. It's not going home. That's not going to, it's going a little bit closer to where he's from, but not that much.
Well,
Ole Miss is one of the closer schools to Fayetteville.
You know, you want to go somewhere and win, and that's Ole Miss have a chance next year to. Well, the divisions would be gone, but Ole Miss have a chance. They're in the playoff 12 this year. They'll have a chance to be in the playoff 12 next year.
They would have.
Wonder if their running back is still going to be their running back. If Junkins is still going to.
Yeah, Junkins had. I don't think he had the same kind of year that Rocket had, where he just wasn't even close to being the same kind of player. Let me look up his numbers here. Judkins. Yeah, I mean he had over 1,000 yards, 1,052 yards, down from there's about 500 yards less. But he also played one fewer game because I was in the bowl game last year. He's going to be that'd be interesting if he goes into if he does do that, if he decides to transfer.
Yeah.
It's not the word transfer that's getting us in trouble, it's the P word. That's really the one that costs you some money.
Well, and it's weird. It's going to be interesting to see if these guys level up in the warp zone or if they just do lateral moves, if they're just kind of treading water, or if they kind of if you maybe take a step down, and not meaning a step down is a bad thing, but maybe it's not SEC football. Maybe you go out to the new Pac-12. Like I'm talking about a guy like AJ Green. Maybe
That's the guy I wonder about, because Rocket to me is still an SEC. I mean, you don't run for 1,400 yards 2 years ago, and it's just like, all right, well, he just forgot how to play the position.
If Rocket's representations, they call you answer the phone. Absolutely, where that kid can play anywhere in the country. He's that talented. You want to have your doctor go look at his knee. He hasn't been the same since that Liberty Bowl, the game against Kansas, and so you'd want to get him looked at. But you might be able to get him cheaper than what he would cost. But absolutely, if that dude's healthy, man, he's a stud.
Yeah, Rocket and AJ. Rocket is an SEC guy. AJ, I'm not too sure.
I could see him out west. I could see him out there playing for Utah or playing in the Pac-12, which is not really the Pac-12 anymore. But they're going to spread out and let him use his speed because Green has a little bit of speed.
I wonder where Torian Carter ends up, because that's a guy when healthy is a serviceable SEC defensive lineman. Well, he's not a star, but he's somebody that can help you.
Yeah, he can be in the rotation. He'll find work. He'll find work. Absolutely.
Think of Jordan Crook. Just kind of started to see what he might be able to do.
Yeah, is he a sophomore? Is that what it is? Because he's going to only be better next year too. That's kind of a loss. You kind of thought he maybe could lead the line a little bit at the linebacker unit, but. It'd be interesting to see who we get in the warp zone as well.
Greg says nobody's coming here, Matt, where there's no offensive line. Well, that's the next thing. You got to build one, and you got to build one through the portal. I mean, here it is again. $11.
Landon Jackson stayed, and so that's something you can build on. Absolutely, and it's an opportunity to play and get out on tape on SEC film. I mean, the SEC still means something. Kids still want to play in the SEC. There's a lot of opportunity out there for kids to.
That's the other aspect of this. I mean, the money's got to be something
if Missouri
that gets
can
discussed.
Do it, Fayetteville can do it. If Columbia, Missouri can do it. Fayetteville, Arkansas can do it.
If Ole Miss can do it, Arkansas can do it. There is no doubt about that.
You need to have two years in a row where you recruit good and you develop your players, and then in the warp zone you're able to sprinkle in 6, 4, 5 studs.
But it's like you put a sign on the door: help wanted, open positions available. We will pay well. I mean, they got all this available playing time for this football team for next season, and there are definitely players who want to show what they can do in the SEC. And even guys from other SEC schools who it's not working out where they are. We've seen that. We've seen it happen in multiple times at Arkansas. You've had players come from Mizzou, from Florida, Georgia, LSU. Just give it some time. Everyone's leaving. No one's coming yet. But we wrap up the second hour right after this.
Christmas shopping is easy at Jelco Outdoors, with thousands of gift ideas for that special person on your shopping list. Jelco has the right gift for that special man, woman, or child. Clothing, footwear, firearms, archery, hunting, fishing, hiking, casual wear, Western boots and clothing, knives, kayaks, and so much more. This Christmas season, shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors. And remember, Jelco gift cards are always a perfect fit. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
A ringing phone is either an opportunity or an issue, and both need immediate attention. But why pull yourself away from your core business for a phone call that AFS Business Solutions can handle for you? Utilizing services such as virtual receptionist, absentee lines, order processing, and even traditional answering service, AFS Business Solutions can handle your business calls for you 24 hours a day. Locally owned and operated, they take care of your calls so you can take care of your business. AFS Business Solutions, online at afsbs.com or at 800-264-1100.
Hey, it's James Teague. Over the years playing baseball, I've grown accustomed to closing innings, but now I'm closing cases. With almost 30 years in the business, the Teague Law Firm can help you with all family law matters, including divorce, custody, and child support. We can also help with criminal law such as traffic offenses, DWIs, and more. Call me at the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688. That's 479-877-1688. Visit us online at teague-law.com.
Teague Law Firm, if they can't help you, they'll talk football.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
At A&P Auto Sales, we take pride in the way we do business. We focus 100% on our customers and believe car buying should be a fun, hassle-free experience. We will work with your budget and offer a dependable car at a price you can afford. Bank financing is available with approved credit, or cash is always accepted. Hop on over to 1202 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren and choose from a wide selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Contact us today at 353-1246 or check us out online at apautosales.net. Find your next car at A&P Auto Sales in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
I think I'm going to skip the Pats and the Steelers tonight. I'll be calling Arkansas versus La Tech women's basketball. There will be many more points scored in the basketball game. Did you see that there is an over-under which dipped to 29.5 points with these two miserable offenses who we even know plays quarterback any longer for New England? It's like it's Bailey Zapp, it's Mac Jones, the third stringer's gotten in there. Kenny Pickett's hurt. Mitch Trubisky's no good. I saw Najee Harris was asked about Mitch Trubisky's leadership, and he says a 2-word answer looking at the reporter, it's fine. That's a glowing report on your second string quarterback's leadership skills.
You know, bad football is hard to watch sometimes.
It is.
That's very true. Your Steelers are 7-5. I wonder.
They are the Iowa Hawkeyes of the NFL.
If Belichick is going to stay at New England, if it's time for a change, or I wonder if he has his eyes on one of these quarterbacks. Like if Caleb Williams is the guy, or Drake May, whoever it could be, if that's it. Because 2-10 the Patriots, and then what about the Brady effect? You know, he's a below 500 coach without Tom Brady.
Funny how that works out.
Funny how when I have better players, you know, that's what did the coach say? Coach is like, when I have better players, that I'm a better coach.
Well, it's like what a quarterback's record with a bad offensive line, right? In some cases, I mean, you're sort of beholden to who it is you got at your behest.
You get a Chiefs-Bills game that is suddenly really big. Chiefs probably don't have home field at all anymore, but they're 8-4. Bills are 6-6. This playoff implications going on right there. That's going to be that'll be a fun Eagles Cowboys this week. Oh my goodness!
It kind of all builds to Eagles Cowboys because Monday night looks like a blowout for the Dolphins. So Sunday night Eagles Cowboys, the next best game of the year in the NFL.
Yeah, there's some
Seahawks Niners. That's not a bad one. Niners though a 10.5-point favorite. Rams Ravens.
You're going to see Joe Flacco start against the Jacksonville Jaguars, so that could be interesting. And then,
you see where your boy stole $22 million from your former franchise, Matt? The guy who ran, I had this in the rundown for later. The guy who ran the Jaguars virtual credit card used the credit card to buy $22 million worth of stuff.
Man, he's living that good life right there.
That's discreet,
man. That's a Tony Bua.
I really would like to be in the position where I could own something and not even realize that $22 million got stolen until 4 years after the guy started it.
Who was the coach there at LSU when he had got double paid one bonus or something, and it took him 6 months before they figured it out, and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't know I got that extra $1.3 million."
Was that Brian Kelly?
Was that right when he got there? Is that what happened? But it happened at LSU.
What do you want me to do? Return the money when you put it in my bank account? Actually, Coach, yes, that is what we want you to do. Get over to hitthatline.com now through December 17th and register to win a Specialized road bike for an adult or a kid just in time for the holidays. That's thanks to our friends at Champion Cycling at 5500 Massard Road in Fort Smith. That's hitthatline.com. Enter to win a Specialized road bicycle, giving away one adult bike, one kid's bike. And that, again, is at hitthatline.com. Champion Cycling's at 5500 Massard Road in Fort Smith. It's where you find your next ride and your next hour of halftimes after this break.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using a Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thank you for supporting our local small business and keeping your dollars here in the Arkansas River Valley. I'm grateful for the opportunity to help you with low flat fees and monthly payment plans. Call me today, 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard.
My own little paradise.
Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
Do you like paying your rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Shamrock Roofing and Construction, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year up to $15,000. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 12th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, Shamrock Roofing and Construction, and ESPN Arkansas. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we should see a bounty of sunshine. Temperatures this afternoon will be in the low to mid 60s. Tonight, we should see an increase in the clouds once again. Early morning lows expecting to drop down into the mid 40s. And then the clouds expected to stick around for Friday. High temperatures low to mid 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
Radio station.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith. From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. I put my heart up. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
What's able one Razorback?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
$11 poor for too many times using the terminology that we're not using today. The terminology didn't come out until 11 minutes into the show. You need to know what it is we're talking about, because maybe you haven't listened for the first couple of hours. There was a certain thing that opened on Monday where college football players can go choose to jump into and then maybe find a place to play somewhere else. Some people refer to it as college athletics free agency. You know what we're getting at. We're using the terminology of Mario Warp Zone.
It's a window, you know. It can be a Mario window into
door.
Another dimension. Yeah, a Jim Morrison door is also a good one.
The door in the Beetlejuice house where they walked out and the giant worm was there to eat Gina Davis. Remember?
Beetlejuice.
That's right. All these things. Well, in the Warp Zone now is the number one player in the 2022 senior class out of high school, Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, was at A&M.
Did he play this year?
I believe he did, yes.
Yeah.
4 starts. Yeah, 37 tackles this year. He had 4 sacks, 8.5 for a loss. So he didn't just start.
Freshman.
He played.
Yeah.
He played. Well, this was his second season.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, he actually had a pretty good freshman season. 29 tackles, 2.5 for a loss, 1 sack, and he upped it. He upped all of those numbers this year. He's got 2 seasons of eligibility left. He's one of the reasons why A&M had that number one recruiting class that year. And I mean, I heard somebody talking on
where's he go? Alabama, you think?
I mean, that's you're
he's going. He's going to a blue blood, so to speak. Right?
That's one of those guys that does go to a blue blood.
Yeah,
he's not.
That's good numbers, freshman numbers, sophomore numbers. What you just said right there, and to projecting what he's going to be next year.
He's from Powell, Tennessee. Is it too simplistic to think that somebody
Josh Heupel might be on the horn?
Exactly. I saw where Elijah Robinson is the defensive line coach there, and he's the interim head coach for the bowl game when they play against Oklahoma State in the Texas Bowl. He just took a job as the defensive coordinator at Syracuse, but he won't start there until after he coaches the Aggies in this bowl game. He made a point to speak with every single defensive lineman to try to convince them to stay at A&M, and because he worked with Elko before and this and that and everything, and he made a point to say, I talked with Walter Nolan about this. And, it's this. Obviously, the kid has made a different decision than what Elijah Robinson might have asked him to do.
Well, isn't A&M paying people the most? So that's another interesting aspect.
I guess it's all just sort of.
I wonder what A&M's paying, because my understanding was it was $10K a game minimum if you're a starter in the SEC. That's what you're getting. So you're getting $100,000 a year
at any position.
If you're a starter in the SEC, it's you're getting $100,000. That's what my understanding. So I wonder what a stud defensive end at A&M gets. What was he getting? Is he getting $20,000 a game, or is he getting $50,000 a game? And I think that's kind of more the transparency that we don't know. That's kind of interesting.
Just going off those numbers, you're starting at $2.2 million for your starting 22.
Absolutely,
that doesn't even count. What are your quarterback? What's
if
your quarterback?
If you're in the SEC, a quarterback's a $1.5 million. That's if he could be a young kid or he could be a portal kid that's proven, then he's going to get a little more. But that's just to field a team. That's right. You got to have minimum 2.2 for your starters.
Chip Trayanum is in the. I didn't say the whole word. Is in the zone. Running back out of Ohio State, started his career at Arizona State. He was a linebacker at one point. Then he was thrust into being a running back. It's actually been a pretty productive player at Ohio State.
Sounds like he's a Chase Utley. Sounds like he's a utility guy that you want him on your team. We had a guy like that named Brandon Holmes, number 7, a running back at the University of Arkansas. Started a game at middle linebacker, started a game at defensive end, started a game at running back, and toted the rock over 30 times.
That's wild.
I mean, he was just an unreal, just Swiss Army knife, just one of the great teammates, just natural athlete. Could do it all.
Here's another headline out of college football. Mike Oresco is retiring. He's been the commissioner of the AAC ever since they became a league, and worked at the Big East before that. I think this goes hand in hand with the announcement from Charlie Baker, or at least the proposal put forward to separate the really rich athletic departments from those who just have some money. Because the American Conference, they view themselves, Matt, as like the P6, right?
Is that SMU?
Tulane? But they're headed to SMU is leaving.
That's right. I keep forgetting that the whole world changes next year.
The whole world changes next year. That's right. So who else? Remember that's the league that lost UCF, Cincinnati, Houston
to the Big 12.
Added Alabama, Birmingham, Charlotte, Florida Atlantic, North Texas, Rice, UTSA. None of these schools, I would think none of these schools would be ponying up the $30,000 for half your student athletes. You're basically starting for a lot of schools at like $8 million, $9 million, and that's just to ante in. That doesn't count all the other money that's being spent. And if this to me feels like the schools in the American Conference, not Conference USA. Like even Big East basketball schools, they have to make that sort of decision too, because a lot of them have football. A lot of them have football as well. It's just it feels like this announcement or the proposal put forward by Charlie Baker could kick college athletics into like almost like minor league sports on steroids in a sense.
Yeah, I wonder if some of these
money,
some of these teams, if the football teams they're going to be playing in a different division of some kind. I think UConn used to do that with basketball before UConn became a Division I football school. Their basketball team was always a little bit
those
higher.
schools like Villanova, I think, has had a good FCS football team.
Yeah.
Obviously,
you might see more of that. Is what I'm
basketball. You'd have to see that. But where does it all end? They were talking on the Morning Rush today about viewing college sports going in a place where it feels like things could eventually hit a wall and sort of stop and crumble. But I was thinking, what could be that cataclysmic event that tips it over? And I think an insolvency from ESPN could be that event. Now, I mean, look what happened with the Big Ten. The Big Ten diversified where they're getting their money from. If college sports continues to increase revenues, and so much of that revenue comes from television money, the Big Ten diversified and moved away from ESPN. They're not beholden at all to ESPN. They're getting money from NBC, from CBS, from Fox. It's 3 different independent organizations sending money to that league. The SEC is totally beholden to ESPN, 100% as far as the television money is concerned. And it's not a company that's in the best position. Disney's looking to sell it. Sooner or later, the rights fees that have continued to shoot up, there's got to be a ceiling on that at some point. There's only so much money that these companies have. You got all the eyes. Yes, people are going to watch it. And I don't think there'll be enough people who grow a distaste of college sports because it has a professional feel that the ratings really take any sort of appreciable hit. But let's just say something happens at ESPN and whomever buys it, because Disney's going to sell them, is looking to cut costs. Well, there's only so many people you can get rid off the screen, off camera. You need a certain amount of money to run a network. It's the rights fees eventually that could, who knows, maybe go down. Or maybe ESPN just implodes. Then what happens?
It's college football is the number 2 watch television show in the country behind the NFL, and it's one of the last live sporting. It's one of the last tune-in events. Sports is, because everybody consumes their other media right when they want it, or they binge watch it later, or you don't. Nobody's actually consuming things live anymore. It's kind of whenever they want.
There's some Major League Baseball teams, hockey teams, I think NBA teams dealing with this same sort of idea, because some of those regional sports networks that were owned by the Sinclair company that were called Bally, they just up and died, through the
because they can stream it a different way. Is that why?
Well, you get a team. I forget who it is. Was it the Phoenix Suns? It was one of the teams in Phoenix, one of the Major League teams there. Just put their games back over the air.
Oh, on public television.
On the public airwaves.
Yeah, I heard that. The owner did that. Yeah. Which, I mean, you get Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I mean, everybody should. Those people bring joy to the world, man. But those are basketball players.
TV money, though, that's really what drives the growth in the revenues. Yeah, I mean, you jack your ticket prices up some. Nothing. I don't think anything really comes close to the amount of money that any sports organization gets from television dollars. That's where there could possibly be a cataclysmic event that affects college sports in a way that's difficult to think about, because all it takes is one ripple in the cash flow that can sort of start things careening towards some kind of disaster.
You mean like if Alabama, Texas, Washington, like if these games weren't on ESPN, how would we consume them? What would they be on the Amazon?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And Washington,
I'm not going to watch any game on Amazon. And I say that now, but you might have to.
Got
later,
one on tonight. You won't watch it.
I don't have an Amazon thing. Yeah, it's like to pay extra for it. Yeah.
Cowboys. I think I got the Amazon deal just to watch one game.
Yep. Yeah.
Just for the one game, huh?
Well.
It's like I got YouTube TV really just to be able to watch Razorback.
That's what yeah.
So I can record it and watch the games back.
So I can watch the Razorback games.
Got to find somebody that already has an account and just log in.
Well, I get it for the Hallmark Network too. I'll just be honest.
Lifetime, okay. Yeah.
Hallmark and Lifetime together. There's got to be a package out there just for both of those networks and nothing else. And sooner or later, there's probably got a sponsorship from Kleenex on both of those networks.
And
this time of the year.
And a warp zone window. You got to have something to jump out of.
$11 in the TP tax right now. Got to keep it just at 11. Because we turn it up to 11. Ours go to 11.
It is one louder than 10.
Stay tuned. Nate Olsen from Scorebook Live stopping by as we get into the final weekend of the Arkansas High School Football Championships. It's halftime, and we're right back.
Three on the way, and it's good. Outlet to Devo. It is over. Down goes Auburn. The number one team in the country is defeated, and they are rushing the court at Bud Walton Arena. They are rushing the floor at Bud Walton Arena.
Don't dance on that hog now. Don't do that. No.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
The biggest and best selection of 2023 and 24 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. Harry Robinson has a great selection in stock and over 24 new Fords on the way. F-150s, the all-new Broncos, Mach-E Mustangs, and the super popular Ford Maverick. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on a new Ford. And Harry Robinson has never and will never charge over MSRP. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Gray Brothers Equipment understands the importance of your hay crop, and they're ready to help with quality Kubota products like Kubota rotary disc mowers, Kubota brand wheel hay rakes, and VV round balers attached to Kubota's M-Series cab tractor. Together, Kubota and Gray Brothers will make your hay days fun again. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Photo, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has been serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma since 1964. That's over 50 years of commercial and residential services from their 2 locations on Zero Street in Fort Smith. Arkansas Glass and Mirror offers custom-cut tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and plate glass. Whether commercial entry doors or home glass projects, remember Arkansas Glass and Mirror. Online at arkansasglassandmirror.com or give them a call, 646-4300.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Sonny!
Oh, darling, please believe me. I never do you no harm. Believe me when I tell you. No harm.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Olsen, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
High school football season wrapping up tomorrow at War Memorial Stadium, and we talk right now with Nate Olsen from Scorebook Live. We've had him on for every week throughout the high school football season. We don't have a show tomorrow. We usually have him on Fridays. So, Nate, thanks for coming on a day early today. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you guys having me, and appreciate you having me the whole year. It's one of the highlights of my week to hop on with you guys. Your show is awesome, and I like being a small part of it, and appreciate you helping me spread the word about Arkansas high school football.
So set the scene for me right now. Who is already a state champion, and then what do we have tomorrow?
Well, we've got we had 5. So in 8-man we had Rector. In 2A we had let's see. Let's start with 7A. In 7A we had, because that's in the coverage area. You had Fayetteville won, and they're undefeated, state champion, the first time ever, and that was huge for Casey Dick and company. 6A you had Greenwood, another coverage area team, and a team that we thought would win from the beginning, and they did a good job in that game, ran the football more than they thought they would. Little Rock Christian was giving them the run, so they took it, and Kane Archer passed for under 200 yards, but ran for 97 and showed how versatile he can be. 5A Little Rock Parkview beat Shiloh Christian handily, and that was a game that I thought Shiloh would be more competitive in. But, I've said it on the show a couple times that, I didn't think that nobody would come within 2 touchdowns of them. And, Shiloh played, as hard as they could. They did a good job coming back against Pine Bluff the week before, but they just weren't any match for them. But I think Parkview is a nationally ranked team. They compare well to the Bryant team, from a few years ago. Their 3rd championship, and Austin Ledbetter, who's you see on the mound at Razorback Stadium often when he was the quarterback. No one touched them, and I think that's kind of how this has been, with this Parkview team. So yeah, it was great, and then for them, and then in 2A you had Bigelow beat EPC, and Bigelow in Central Arkansas, from that Perryville Conway area. They're coached by a guy that played there and played for his dad, so very special for Luke Starks to lead them. And they've been a team that has won several titles in other sports and always was good in football but couldn't win, in the postseason. So kind of got that albatross off of his neck. And so it's been, the first weekend was good, but, the Fayetteville-Bentonville game was really the only – the 8-man game was overtime. So that was a good game to start off. And then you had the Bentonville-Fayetteville game was the most competitive 11-man game, kind of a defensive battle. But we're hoping for 2 games on Saturday that are pretty competitive.
So which game are we getting to first? 3A championship? You take it.
Yeah, we'll start off. I'm sorry, Phil. What was that?
No, go ahead. I was which game you want to start with for tomorrow?
Yeah, 3A. Yeah, we'll start with 3A. First of all, when you look at the forecast, they've been talking about some lightning. In the last couple of years, we've had some weird weather. Last year there was a 6-hour delay in that 4A game that's in the same time slot. So I think everybody is kind of keeping their eye on it. But the closer we get to Saturday, the more it sounds like that some of that weather could be to the southeast and could be later in the afternoon. So it sounds like it's going to rain, but hopefully we can avoid the lightning. It's set for a noon start. We've got Boonville and Prescott, and that could be a really good game. And so hopefully it starts off and continues without interruption. But both teams should be ready for a wet football, I think. And I really think that helps Boonville the most, because they're going to run the football 90% of the time, even though Jace Washburn the quarterback has thrown it more than they have in the past. But big old Dax Goff, you've heard me mention that that guy numerous times. Big linebacker, running back, rugged guy, runs the football well. And Rylan Reed, another running back, they run it a lot. And if it's a wet, day, could help them. Pierce Yates is the quarterback for Prescott, and they've got athletes all over the place. He's a good quarterback, committed to play Kansas State baseball. And so it's a contrast in styles. You've got the kind of slobber knocker, smash mouth, Boonville style, run it down your throat, and Prescott's going to pass the ball a little more, try to get it in space to some of their talented skilled guys. And both these teams, their storied tradition, they make regular trips to Little Rock. This could be a really good game. I hope the weather is not too much of a factor. There's not delays, because last year, that was just horrible. When it took 6 hours to complete that game. You had guys down there in the dressing room that were hungry. Big teenage kids. You eat a pregame meal like at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's like 4. You're still not playing, and they're texting their parents to get them a hamburger, hot dog, or something from the concession stand. So I don't think even if we have a delay, it'll be that long. But I'm hoping that all that weather is away from us, and War Memorial is nice and calm. We get a good game in here. And then 4A, you've got Harding Academy versus Rivercrest, and Harding Academy, ruled 3A, won 3 championships, and then moved to 4A last year, lost to Malvern. I talked to their talented wide receiver, Wyatt Simmons, who's committed to Arkansas. He said that, when you lose, they're not used to losing in a title game. They beat Malvern this year to get to the semifinals. Really tough road for them. Had to win at Elkins, who I think in a lot of years would be a state champion. They were undefeated going to that game. Had to go to Elkins to win. But Simmons said that losing that game was really key to this year's run, because he said it left a bad taste in all their mouths. They worked really hard in the off season to get back here, and they're back facing a Rivercrest team who's very athletic, similar to Prescott. Kobe Turner, his older brother Cam, was a really good player for them. Plays multiple positions. That's just what Kobe does too, and can hurt you in a lot of different ways. Lines up in different spots. So that's going to be a guy they have to keep an eye on. But I just think Harding Academy they're loaded everywhere. Good defense with Simmons leading the way, 6'3", 215 linebacker. Expect them to win it again.
Simmons he's a Razorback commit, right?
He is, yeah. And just cut from the same mold as Matt's old teammate Jeb Huckabee. He played 2 years in the NFL. He's now a FCA director, area director in Northwest Arkansas. And his dad coached Harding too. So Harding is playing for a national championship berth in Searcy at 11. Then they play, the high school game at 6:30. So Wyatt's going to be there supporting his dad. But cut from that same kind of cloth. Jeb was a soft-spoken, guy on the field. He was tough and mean, but a good kid. And Wyatt, I talked to him for about 20 minutes this morning at War Memorial while they were getting ready to warm up, and you could tell he's just a gem of a kid. Gonna do whatever the coach asks. Gonna give 100% and conduct himself in a good way off the field. He said that it bothered him and his dad, the criticism that Pittman went through this year, but they both thought he handled it well, and he never wavered from his commitment. This is a guy that he just thought he was going to be a Division II recruit for his dad, and they put a highlight film together in May, and he put it out on Twitter, and within 24 hours, he's got some of the biggest programs in the country offering it. It was like he couldn't believe it. He's just, he hadn't gotten around to it, and he hadn't gone to any camp, so people didn't know him. But he's 6'3", 215. He can move. Really strong guy. Good football IQ as you'd expect from a coach's son. But I think Arkansas is getting a real good one here. You cannot put a price on loyalty and also good conduct. Just being a good citizen. There's a lot of good football players, but guys that are he's a typical Arkansas kid that wants to play for the Razorbacks and is going to do everything he can to help them win. And, there may not be enough guys on that team like that. And you've got a good one there that's eventually going to be a leader of your program.
Yeah, Jeb Huck was a great teammate. Jeb's the type of guy that you want your daughter bringing home to. He's a good dude. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's Wyatt reminds me. I've had a little bit of dealings with Jeb. Their situations are eerily similar. Growing up on the Harding campus, their dad's coach, and Harding is a Christian school, and those kids, a lot of them that I've talked to, there's something different about them, and you like having guys like that on your football team. You knew that you could look to him; he was a good example, and Matt, and that's how Wyatt is on this Harding Academy team. The guys look to him. He's doing the right thing, and then eventually, he goes to Arkansas. He gets to be, entrenched in that program. It'll be the same way for him, I think. There.
We'll leave it there, Nate. But let's revisit again next week and kind of go an overarching look at the high school football season. I know there've been some changes in classification too, so we'll get to that next week as well. Thanks, man. Enjoy the games tomorrow.
Sounds great. Thank you. Yep.
Thanks, Nate.
Or Saturday. That's when the games are. Riley Farm Dental is at the entrance to Riley Farm. They'll provide you every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. They have same-day crowns available right now. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. That's Drs. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer at Riley Farm Dental. All their patients will have a better life with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental is at 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farm, right off Highway 71 in Fort Smith, 226-3500 or RileyFarmDental.com. Meanwhile, the McClarty Daniel hotline's open for you, 877-377-6963. We're right back.
At Red River Dodge, not only do we have new vehicles, but we also have top quality pre-owned, all the way from your big rig trucks to your luxury class SUVs. Are you needing to trade in a used vehicle? That's no problem. Here at Red River Dodge, we give top dollar for your trade-in. Whatever it is you're needing, here at Red River Dodge, we have it. Give us a call today at 501-362-5831 or visit us on the web at redriverdodge.com. And don't forget, folks, we deliver.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Rockwell and Orwell are both known for their work from 1984. It's no conspiracy that somebody's watching me, because the terms and agreements that no one reads is the reason there's no privacy. Big Tech is tracking every move you make and is starting to control society and how you participate. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and Revelation 13 describes a mark for those who fall for this utopian dream. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Read about it.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Olsen, the best in the business, on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
move. There was the one
The
move.
little
You come in right-handed, just a little fake to the out. It was indefensible.
There was Mo Peterson. He's a Michigan State guard that played for the Toronto Raptors for a little bit, and had the NBA Live going on like an 06 version, 07 version. You could get him into that corner three, and man, it was like a glitch. He'd go 11 for 13. You're like, how did Mo Pete just hit 11 of 13 threes on us today?
Because you've got very quick fingers and thumbs.
Glitch.
They say about guys with, never mind. Chad in Texarkana requested "Life's Been Good" by Joe Walsh. Chad, you've missed out on the actual theme for today, which
it's a good one though.
Beatles covers.
We'll get that one. We'll get that one Monday for you. We'll get that Joe Walsh right there.
So, all right. So what you end up doing then? There can be another theme of
you can do
Eagles songs that when they broke up or before, because Joe Walsh didn't join the Eagles until after he'd already had some hits.
Yeah, well, he had a couple good albums. Yeah.
Yeah, you do Eagles solo hits. That way you won't piss off the Big Lebowski.
Glenn Fry and Don Henley, and Christian can learn some Eagles names too. Yeah.
Man, by the time we finish next year, Christian, you're going to be able to write a whole dissertation on the history of rock and roll.
Even the guy that had long hair in the Eagles that wrote one song. Yeah.
I was going to say I have heard of the Eagles. My dad's a fan of the Eagles, so I have heard of them.
Hell Freezes Overture. Yeah.
I have heard. You heard of Frank Sinatra?
Yes, I actually the other day that Tom on the Morning Rush they were like, "What's your favorite? Who sings your favorite Christmas songs?" And that's who I said, Frank Sinatra.
All right, so maybe you got a little bit of old soul to you then. Now if I can get you to sing Candyman by Sammy Davis Jr., now we're talking something else. I don't think you have any idea what I'm talking about there.
No.
JB's first system was the Atari. That was mine. My first video game system was the Atari 2600. So that would have meant, Matt, I think the first sports video game I would have played, they had baseball on Atari.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really play like baseball.
The first baseball game I remember was the King Griffey Jr. on Super Nintendo, the can of corn. That was the one.
Did they say that on that?
Yeah, absolutely. But Griffey was the only name they could have the rights to, so you could see the image, kind of like RBI baseball a little bit. You could see the image of who it kind of was. But Griffey was the only name. Nobody else was trademarked. But it was you could speed it up where you could get, like, if your shortstop was pretty fast with a strong arm, you could put him in center field, kind of like a Mookie Betts.
Do you remember Mike Tyson Punch-Out, which was not the stand-in arcade version. It was only the one on Nintendo.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But then do you remember after he lost his title in the shocking upset, maybe the biggest upset in the history of sports, to Buster Douglas?
Tokyo.
There was a Buster Douglas boxing video game on Sega Genesis.
Nice. Nice.
It would go right next to the Peter McNeely video game of boxing. You remember Hurricane Peter McNeely?
No.
That was Tyson's first match after he got out of jail.
I was going to say, is that Denzel Washington's character in Hurricane when he plays the boxer? Yeah.
That's the funny aspect, is there actually a guy who was a Hurricane who was a middleweight champion, and then there was Peter McNeely, who was a little more of a tomato can. In fact, he made a commercial. It was one of the pizza restaurants. He got knocked out by a slice of pizza on the TV commercial. I mean, he took his 15 minutes in stride and ran with it as far as he could.
Mike Tyson was a different animal.
I think animal would be the right word at that point.
For a handful of years there, man. Oh my! Stepping in the ring with him, that's like returning punts. You know, it's like.
You could see it on their faces.
Oh my goodness!
I remember watching. I think the first title Tyson won, he won from Trevor Berbick, and I remember watching this fight with my father, and the look on Berbick's face. He knows exactly what's about to happen to him. He's going to get destroyed, and he did. I don't remember if that was a one round fight or not.
It wasn't Gus Avocados, but who is his guy that his manager? Because that's kind of when it went sideways for Tyson. When
Gus D'Amato was the guy who brought him out of the
Gus
Bronx.
Avocados, yeah, Gus D'Amato. But that was it. That's because he was like his father figure. He was his guy that he listened to, and when he kind of strayed away, then who going to tell Mike Tyson something? And it wasn't going to be your boy with the white hair, Don King.
Got a little bit of breaking news on ESPN right now. And I don't know where direction to take this, but it is interesting. A couple of people have texted in about it. John Rahm is leaving the PGA Tour. and he's going to live.
He's a Spanish man. He's the Spain's #1 ranked player. He's unreal. He got that Serena booty. He's unreal, man. You got to see his legs, the power that he just. Oh my goodness.
I thought these leagues were merging, or maybe it's more the PGA was taking on a lot of money from the Saudi PIF and viewing them as a business partner. But I guess Live Golf isn't really part of that.
Well, here's the deal. You know how much they paid him. They paid him over $250 million to come to Live. So you're going, right? You're like, yeah, 250, got to go.
550 million is
that what he got?
Is that one number that we see here?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying for Rahm to go, it's going to be minimum 250. So you you can't make that. You could win every tournament for 4 years, or they get some big money in the PGA tournaments.
That's wild. Yeah, he'd asked the question recently if he was asked. He was asked about his interest in joining the upstart circuit. This right out of the ESPN article, and he says he's talking with his wife. Started talking about it. We asked ourselves, would our lifestyle change if we got $400 million? The answer to him was no. It would not change one bit because he could retire right now and live a happy life. Quote, I play for the love of the game, and I want to play against the best in the world, unquote. Well, I mean, some of the best in the world are over there at Live, right? So, I mean, maybe he still does. Anyway, kind of interesting. We had another question. I don't know which direction to take that because I don't watch too much golf, but apparently this is
he's
between $550 and $600 million.
Well, let's just say this: he's a Galactico. He's one of the best golfers in the world right now. Absolutely, $500 million. So yeah, see, I said he would. He's probably been offered, $250 because I think they got Phil for around $300, and that was a couple years ago. And Phil has the name, but Rahm has the talent right now.
The prices have gone up. Jeff in Fort Smith asked about any news on Quincy McAdoo. Now, that's a player that we haven't really brought up very much because of, I don't even remember seeing him on the sideline. Sam was asked about him in one of the coaches' shows late in the season, and it was this kind of the same answer that we even talked about after the accident and when we got into preseason camp. You're just hoping that he's able to walk, and then you're hoping he can play football after that. So there haven't really been much reports about it. I know he was rehabbing well and he's healthy and okay and everything. It's just a matter of, if your body can still play the sport.
Yeah, it's kind of tragic. But go to school and take advantage of your opportunity. Get you a degree, get you 2 degrees. That you'll still get your college paid for. I don't know if he ever plays again. I thought he was a star in the making.
He really did look like it.
Man, I'm on his side. I wish him the best and hope that he gets to feeling better, can have a normal life at least. But yeah, take advantage of that. Get you a couple degrees up there and enjoy yourself.
Well, McLaughlin's going to the East-West Shrine, so he
can play on Sundays.
Yeah.
McLaughlin's he's all right.
You can also get over to Joe's Grilling Cantina today for Throwback Thursday. Got that rotation of Cuco's classics that you enjoyed for years, and the featured drink is an ultimate margarita. Tomorrow is $1 off any and all fajitas at Joe's Grilling Cantina. When the Hogs play Oklahoma on Saturday, get over to Joe's because they got TVs all around the restaurant. You're going to have a great view of the Razorbacks and the Sooners with big screens all over the place, plus patio dining and live music. The best Tex-Mex in town at Joe's Grilling Cantina, 3400 South 74th across from Harps in Fort Smith. joesfortsmith.com and the Waiter app to put in an order. Portal tax is at $11. I think I can keep it at 11. And we'll wrap up our week right after this.
Hey, Hog fans, are you game ready? When you want to show your Hog pride, Alumni Hall is your ultimate shopping experience. The best and largest selection of apparel for the whole family. Nike Golf, Champion, Columbia, plus gifts, accessories, and all your tailgating necessities. Arkansas students, faculty, and military receive 10% off in-store, and you can earn cash back with Hall Pass rewards. Alumni Hall, located at North College Avenue, or anytime at alumnihall.com. Check out their latest awesome giveaways on social and alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Razorback fans shop.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round. But when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Phil Elson. From all these years watching baseball, I've grown accustomed to watching closers in their element. James Teague isn't closing innings anymore, he's closing cases. With almost 30 years in the business, Teague Law Firm is a general practice firm that can help you with most family law issues, divorce, custody, and child support. They can also help with criminal law, both felonies and misdemeanors.
Call James and the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688. That's 479-877-1688.
Online at teague-law.com.
Teague Law Firm, if they can't help you, they'll talk football.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leaf-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren, the best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I tell you something, girl. I think you understand. And when I said that little something to you, I wanna hold your hand. Got to hold you every day now. Got to hold you. Oh, please, girl, say to me, baby, honey, say, let me be your man. And oh, please, say to me, walk up and tell me, I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand, baby. Got to hold your hand.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Thank you to the folks at Roller Funeral Homes for their dedication. And generations of families recognize that Roller difference. Know when you call on Roller, you receive all their respect. Sweet 16 volleyball starting pretty soon here, Matt. Arkansas and Kentucky. tip-off, first smack. I don't know what you call it.
A smash.
First smash.
Yeah.
Match begins.
A volley.
3:30 in the afternoon. It's
a serve,
the third match for the volleyball team against Kentucky. They've taken 5 losses this year. Arkansas volleyball, 5 losses. 2 of them to the top-ranked Wisconsin Badgers, and 2 others to Kentucky. Didn't beat Kentucky in the 2 matches this year, so going to be certainly a tough one.
Let's go Ladybacks.
That's exactly right. And let's see, winner will get either Nebraska or Georgia Tech, and this is played in Lincoln. So good luck with Nebraska.
Yeah, they don't want this smoke though. Them Ladybacks are ready.
What else can we get here? Yeah, I think we got about just about everything. Yeah, I'm excited for this women's basketball game tonight. Not just because it's a chance to get on the court, watch the team play, see if Talia Scott can get another 20-point effort. Talia scored 20 or more in 6 games already and is the 6th leading scorer in the nation at 23.2 points. La Tech not having a great season, 2-6. They're 0-6 against Division I schools. They are 2-0 against schools from the NAIA. I'm more excited for Michaela Daniels to set this record for games played. I feel like it's flown under the radar. 132 games played when she gets on the court today. She's never come off the bench. Think about that. A freshman started every game she played her first year. I think Mac has missed maybe 4 or 5 games for her entire career, so she has been durable. She's been a great leader. She always busts her butt.
Passing the torch, it seems like,
I think.
Kind of a changing of the guard. And she has to be just as excited as anybody to have some help out there, and everybody's not focusing on her. You got a true 1-2 punch, because can't either one of those ladies give you 20 on any given night?
I don't know if I'd say that. You know, Mac every once in a while is giving you a game like that. Samara Spencer too. Saylor, if the shot's going down, can maybe get near that. But with Talia, it's like, well, what happens? What happened if she didn't hit 20? Like that, she is, can I say focal point?
She's the scorer, huh?
She is the main scorer for this team. It's a group that has, I think, 4 other players that can give you anywhere from like 12 to 15, 16 on a consistent basis. But Talia Scott, even averaging, 26 a game right now? Once her 3-point shot starts dropping, because it hasn't been dropping, she could legitimately be a 30-point scorer.
Can she be a freshman All-American?
Yes.
Is Arkansas going to make the NCAA tournament this year?
Yes.
Nice.
I think they will.
Good.
I think they will. I think it's a good team. The depth, though, it's not there's not as much depth as expected, and that's the thing that can hurt them in the SEC.
Things got to go your way. Got to stay healthy. Absolutely. Man, it was always good having you in studio.
It was a good Friday as Thursday.
The covers of the Beatles Christian C Unit. Good work.
Your education started today on the Beatles. Very good. Eagles next week, though. It's not quite. It doesn't hit as hard with the Eagles, does it? No show tomorrow, so the next time we're with you is Monday, when we will reconvene halftime. $12 into the TP tax. It's actually not bad for 3 hours.
TB12.
We're going to warp away. For Matt Jones, for C Unit, I'm Phil. Have a great